Hi, and welcome to the Holly C Podcast, a show about expressing your brilliance with ease and flow. I'll show you how to take the woo-woo out of the clouds and apply it to real life for effortless action. This show is for world changers and future world changers, so if you know there's more to life and you're wondering what's next, this is your show. Hi, I'm Holly, your host. I am a speaker, author, teacher of health, vitality, and spirituality, and I'm also a dragon spirit guide. In today's episode, we're going to delve deeper into unraveling one of the greatest fears that stops us from being successful. It's the fear that holds us back from making changes, making those big changes in our lives. It's the fear that causes us to freeze, so that we don't even take action. We write things off in our minds before we even get started. So what is this fear? Is it fear of failure? Well, that is a very common fear. The fear that we're going to address today is its polar opposite, the fear of success. Yes, the fear of actually doing what it is that you actually want to do. There's a very famous quote by Marianne Williamson, and it goes, "Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be?" And there are a few more paragraphs to the quote, but you get the general gist of it. It's not that we're afraid of failing. It's that we're afraid of succeeding. We're afraid of allowing our brilliance to shine through. Now, consciously, with the rational mind, that makes no sense. So in order to release this fear, we need to peel back the layers. And one of the best ways to do this is to move past the gatekeeper. The gatekeeper is your conscious mind, because even though your conscious mind can rationalize and deduce that it doesn't make sense to be unsuccessful, oftentimes it's your conscious mind that is holding you back. And it's holding you back not because of fear of failure, but because of the fear of success. So we want to get the gatekeeper, the mind, out of the way. And one of the best ways to do this is by entering the dragon spirit space. So dragon spirit is not an entity or spirit outside of yourself. It's actually that voice within. It's your intuition, your higher guidance, that voice inside you that craves adventure and exploration. And it also, very conveniently, knows the most expansive answers to your deepest questions. When you quiet your mind, you are connected with the energy of the universe. You are connected with your higher guidance. You're open to receiving the clarity from your heart and soul. And so when we enter the dragon spirit space, this is your opportunity to quiet the mind and hear the voice of your soul. It's not me telling you what you want. It's not me telling you why you're afraid of success. It's your soul speaking to you and revealing this to you. When you see it yourself instead of someone else telling you, then you know with every cell in your body what the truth is. It's not someone else telling it to you. It is your truth, and that is the most powerful thing that can be revealed to you. Because when you see it, when you feel it, when you experience it, it's your truth. And that will power you to make the changes and shifts necessary for you to express your brilliance, for you to succeed, for you to shine your light into the world. So to enter the dragon spirit space, you're going to take 3 dragon breaths. And what you'll do is you'll breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. And as you breathe out, if you feel like letting out an audible sigh or sound like a ha, go ahead and do so. That's like your dragon roar. So to enter the Dragon Spirit space, I'm going to ask you to place your hand on your heart. Just bring your awareness to your heart. Allow your energy to settle. Maybe you've been feeling a little bit high-strung or nervous or stressed out today. Just imagine the energy settling down into your body, awareness to your heart, and let's begin. So breathe in through your nose and breathe out through your mouth. Relaxing your back and shoulders as you breathe out. And again, breathing in and breathing out. And once more, breathing in and breathing out. I want you to think right now of what you consider a really annoying habit or a trait that you dislike about yourself in this moment. So it can be a physical trait, a mental trait, a pattern, something that you do, like a pet peeve about yourself. And just allow that to bubble up to the surface right now. What's bugging you right now? So you don't have to come up with a giant laundry list of things that bug you, because we're quite sure you could spend the entire time of this podcast episode doing that. All I'm asking you to do right now is to come up with the one that comes up to the surface right now. What's really bugging you? Maybe your toe is itchy. Maybe you notice the tension in your neck and shoulders that you always carry. Maybe it's the way that your mind keeps going in circles, round and round, or how you're indecisive trying to figure out which one it is that you should choose. Which is the pet peeve that you want to bring up to the surface right now? And whatever comes up, it's the right one for this moment. So go ahead and allow that pet peeve to come to the surface. And why not? Imagine a big round table, and there's like a folding chair. In fact, there are a number of folding chairs around the table. And you've pulled up a pet peeve, and you're going to place it in a chair around this round table. So go ahead and imagine however that might manifest in your imagination. It's your imagination, so there's no right or wrong way to do this. Maybe you have colorful chairs, maybe you have metal chairs, maybe they're black chairs, maybe they're not even folding chairs. Maybe the table is heavy oak wood, or maybe it's plastic. Maybe it's a resin, a modern acrylic resin. Maybe it's a glass table. Whatever comes to mind, just allow that to come to mind. Perhaps it's like King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out. Just breathe out naturally. And if you feel like relaxing your hand into your lap, you don't need to keep it on your heart, go ahead and do so right now. If you feel a little uncomfortable, go ahead and shift your position right now. And I'm going to leave that in the recording just to show you that I shifted my position too. Now I'm much more comfortable. Breathe in through your nose. And just easy, relaxed, normal breath out through your nose. And just do that maybe a couple more times. Okay, so you sat down a pet peeve into a chair. Now go pick another one. This time, let your conscious mind choose one. And again, you've got a whole bunch of chairs around the table, so you don't have to make sure you pick the right one. Just pick one thing, the next thing that's bugging you, and place that in a chair around the table. A trait, a habit, a compulsion, something that you just can't seem to kick and it's kind of bugging you. Just put it in a chair around the table. Now I'm going to ask you to yawn. One great big yawn. So reach your arms up, yawn, and go. Open your chest as you reach your arms up and back. Open your jaw wide. Come on, one more yawn. And as you're breathing out with that yawn, allow yourself to pick another pet peeve, something else that you do, and this time it's something that annoys other people. So place that in one of the chairs around the table. And now I'm going to ask you to, rather than think of more pet peeves, identifying them, and maybe some are coming to mind right now, but instead I'm going to ask you to feel into the energy of these other pet peeves. Just imagining how you feel about having these traits or behaviors that annoy you. Obviously, there's annoyance, but what else do you feel? You don't have to think of anything specific. Just the idea of things that you don't like or that irk you about yourself. What are you feeling and where are you feeling it? Pay attention to that. That's more important than identifying what these things are or giving a label to the feeling. Just awareness in your body where you are feeling this. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. Now, take this mass of feeling that you might not be able to articulate exactly what it is, and imagine it lifting out of your body and placing it in the center of this table, surrounded by pet peeves. It's almost like it's the, for lack of a better word to describe it, the altar of your pet peeves. That gungy, heavy emotion right in the center of the table, and this wheel of pet peeves surrounding it. So you have 3 already identified. Whatever that feeling you were feeling that you placed on the table, imagine the other chairs filled with those pet peeves. And you don't have to identify them, but just know that these are the pet peeves that create that heavy, kind of solid feeling sitting on top of the table. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out, relaxed, easy breath. Now, how are you feeling in your shoulders right now? Is there tension? What about your neck, your jaw, your head, your temples, your eyes, your nose? And just be aware of the tension. The tension that you're aware of is more pronounced now because you feel uncomfortable with this stone of emotion on top of the table and all the pet peeves surrounding it. But the pet peeves themselves, while they did induce some squirminess, it was the emotion that brought out the most tension. That's what you're feeling right now because it's on the table for you to see. Your mind thought it was easier to leave it buried inside your body. It doesn't want to look at that. It's not attractive. It's not part of your dialogue of who you think you should be. It's not part of your brilliance. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out, easy, relaxed breath. This time, breathe into that area of your body where you felt all that emotion that you pulled out and put onto the table. Breathe in. Just relax it as much as you can. Breathing out, easy, relaxed breath. So what does this big slab of gunk on the table have to do with your fear of success? Well, the truth is, and I want to say my dear here, the truth is, my dear, that you are afraid of succeeding because you have to look at all this gunk. There's a part of you that realizes that when you keep it all buried inside you, that, this is going to weigh you down and keep you from reaching those heights that you seek. This is like a rapper from the 1980s wearing a giant gold chain with a big medallion around their neck. And it's a heavy weight. Sure, it's shiny and golden and reflective and brilliant, but it's a heavy weight. And in that comparison, there is a grain of truth in that shining your brilliance is a heavy weight. That's your fear of success. You're afraid that you're going to be so successful that you're going to be burdened. I feel the energy shift in you. And I know some of you are going, well, how can you feel that if you recorded this before I listened to it? Energy is not contained by time or place. Energy transcends time and space. But I felt the shift, and so did you. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out. Easy, relaxed breath. Again, breathing into that area in your body where you pulled out this, let's call it the giant medallion. And breathe out. All of those pet peeves, all this nasty gunk, did you know that this is your brilliance? And your mind is like, what? This isn't my brilliance. My brilliance is that I'm so talented. My brilliance is my intelligence. My brilliance is my mind. My brilliance is not this stuff that I don't like about myself. It's not this negativity, because that doesn't fit the storyline of how brilliance should be. Brilliance, according to everyone else, is supposed to be brilliant. It's supposed to be light and love and joy and all those wonderful positive emotions, not that icky feeling that I feel inside. And if it is that, why the heck would I want it? Breathe in through your nose. Relax. Breathe out. So your fear of success is that you fear seeing that your brilliance is not so brilliant. Isn't that brilliant? Do you see, though, are you starting to see how it's like a fun house of mirrors? Hold a mirror this way, see one thing. Hold a mirror that way, see something else. And then at some point, you're seeing the reflection of a reflection of a reflection. Where's the original mirror? Your mind has created this room of mirrors. Your life, it's like there are mirrors everywhere. Mirrors in your interactions with others, mirrors in your environment, in how you see your life, mirrors in your physical body reflecting back who you are to yourself. And you don't like these mirrors. Your mind doesn't like the mirrors. Even though it created the mirrors, it doesn't like them, because when you look out and you see these pet peeves, these things you don't like, you're uncomfortable. It creates that feeling, that giant medallion sitting on the table. Breathe in through your nose and breathe out. There is the idea that success must create a dichotomy. Success is the good stuff rising to the top and the banishment of the bad stuff. But in order then to be successful, you must separate yourself. There's no way you could live up to your mind's standards in order to be successful. Are you really going to get rid of all those pet peeves? Yeah, there might be some things you can address, improve upon, shift, but can you get rid of them all, really, truly? You want to transform them all into this positive ideal. Is that not a burden as well? Breathe in through your nose and breathe out. And now your mind is like confused, but it's because it keeps putting up more mirrors to reflect and reflect and reflect upon itself. We're going to ask you to do something quite radical. Imagine a giant mallet the size of the table. It's in the air swinging, and it smashes down on the table, sends everything flying. Pet peeves are going left and right all over the place. The giant medallion shattered into pieces. Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. Now, instead of a room full of mirrors, you have a mosaic. There are little bits of mirror, little bits of pet peeve, little bits of emotion. This is who you are. When you zoom in, that is each of the lives that you live, or will live, or have lived. But the big picture view is your existence, is your brilliance. Now, how can that be useful, though, for the life you live now? Breathe in through your nose. Breathe out. And laugh. Ha ha ha. Yeah, one of those fake movie laughs. More fake. Ha 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 ha. And since I'm Chinese, it's kind of like those Chinese soap opera laughs. Ha 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 ha. Go ahead. Try it. Ha 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 ha. Seems utterly ridiculous, doesn't it? That is what this construct of your mind has about brilliance. It's ludicrous. It's so ridiculous. It's brilliant. That you have to separate yourself. That you have to be perfection in order to be brilliant, in order to express your brilliance. That you must always express your brilliance with ease and flow. And I know that's what this podcast is called. But when you realize that sometimes there isn't always ease and flow, that actually gives you ease and flow. So there are a few levels of this fear of success. Of course, there's that mind level. Fear of success equals change. But fear of success also means owning up to all that gunk, to your pet peeves, to admitting it's all there. Now, you fear it on another level because you fear that you have to somehow wipe your slate clean of it all. Which is a really daunting task, if not impossible. Well, quite truly impossible. You have to wipe out who you are, basically. Who are you if you are not this culmination of these pet peeves? And yes, there is light, there is brilliance, there is love, there is joy, there's happiness, there's compassion, there's wisdom. All of that is a part of you too. But if you see it all as like a giant ball of Play-Doh that kids are playing with, and they had a whole bunch of different colors and everything's all mixed together, and the adult, the mind, sees that as a mess. That how are you going to separate the Play-Doh? And you know, if you've ever played with Play-Doh, it's pretty much impossible. Once those colors are mixed together, little bits get mixed in with the pink and blue and yellow get mixed in with the green. You can't take it apart again. It's joined. That's you. That's you. This life right now. How do you separate? Now, it doesn't mean that the colors don't blend and sometimes you get new colors. Because you always want to change and progress and grow. That's your nature. But what it does mean is that you don't cry over spilt milk or cry over mixed Play-Doh. You don't spend all your time trying to unmix it and separate it. Which is why you've been fearing success, because you have always felt that in order to be successful, you must be the best version of yourself, that you cannot have the pet peeves, you cannot have the imperfection. You have to be perfect. And you know you can't be perfect. So better not to try at all. And that's what's stopping you. It's a huge part of what's stopping you. It's not the fear of what will actually manifest when you're successful. That's the story that your mind has been telling you. Because the real fear is not what you will see when you are successful, but what you will see in order to be successful. You will see yourself, all of you, all of that gunk, all of the pet peeves, and you will see that that is all part of your brilliance. You are expressing your brilliance, not some watered down or ultra purified version of perfection of your brilliance. If that were the case, why would anyone bother expressing their brilliance? It'd be the same as everyone else's brilliance, and then it's not really that brilliant. That everybody has their own different ball of Play-Doh with a mix of different colors, a mosaic of rainbow, and sometimes it just all turns to brown too after a while. But there's always those little bits of color still embedded within. And that is your brilliance. Now you might be going, well, what's the action plan after this? Okay, I have this realization, but how do I then take it and become successful? And you know what? That's the brilliance of it. You don't have to. You just be. The more you can be who you are, the more the success will come to you. Because it is your particular ball of Play-Doh with all the colors embedded in it that is your true brilliance. And the more you come to terms with that and allow others to see that, the more genuine, honest, truthful you are, the more love and appreciation you have for more and more aspects of yourself, the more ways you have to relate to other people and their different balls of Play-Doh, because you have like matching colors here and there. You can go, hey, look at the pink I have, and they'll say, yeah, look at the pink I have. All of this will create opportunity. It's like a swirl of opportunity all around you. And instead of spending so much time trying to deny your brilliance, your existence of all the gunk and pet peeves, you'll just relax into it. And you'll be you. And by being you, you will then see your path to success much more clearly. It's not the path of being generic. It is the path of your uniqueness, which encompasses the gunk and encompasses the pet peeves, the things that you don't like, the patterns, the behaviors, the traits. All of this is you. And that is how you will express your brilliance with more ease and flow. And that is how you will be successful. All of that is you. And on that note, we are going to step out of the dragon spirit space. Now, that doesn't mean that you are not connected to the universe once you step out of this space. It just means that we're regrounding a little bit more in the reality that we live in. But this connection to dragon spirit is always open to you. So to exit the dragon spirit space, we're going to take 3 dragon breaths. So again, place your hand on your heart. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out through your mouth. Ah. Roll your shoulders. Gently turn your head side to side. Breathe in through your nose. And breathe out. And again, breathe in through your nose. And breathe out. And just notice right now that part of your body where you kind of pulled out all that gunky emotion. Isn't it feeling lighter? That there's more energy, there's more chi flowing through it? That tension that you felt before? Not as much of it, huh? And I'm going to say, go ahead and adjust your position again. So you're going to hear my chair creaking again until you feel comfortable. And I'm just getting a few additional messages from the universe, from Dragon Spirit, to pass along. And it's about success. That your mind will try and solve this Dragon Spirit meditation kind of like a puzzle, like trying to extract from it through means of logic how you can apply this aha moment to be more successful. And the message I want to pass along is that it's not a puzzle to be solved. There's nothing that your mind can do. You can listen to it like 100 times over and, trot out all your pet peeves. It's not about clearing them or changing these elements about yourself. It's about, very cliche, it's about acceptance and surrender. And when you do that, you free up so much energy. And you shift your attention to where the quote-unquote successful path lies. Like right in front of you. It's right there. But you can't see it because of your mind. So have you ever been so focused on something that you totally miss what's right there in front of you? So it could be like when you go for a hike or you go for a walk in a park and you're thinking so much about, say, the things that you've got to do, your to-do list, errands you have to run, a problem at work, that you don't even see the beauty surrounding you. Have you ever experienced that? I have to admit that's happened to me numerous times. I used to go for a walk in this one park near my home all the time, and I would be at least 200 paces in before I realized that I hadn't taken in my surroundings at all. So that's kind of like what it is with the opportunities around you. It's kind of like you have to get out of your head before you can see them. And that's when the success manifests. And the fear of success that holds you back, it's really not about the success. It's about having to see yourself and having the awareness of yourself in the same way as if you were going for a walk in a park. You're the park. So instead of being busily focused on something else, something distracting, take a look around at your surroundings. And that is the message I'll leave you with this week. Just see yourself with open eyes, with awareness and attention, and look in different directions. Like just imagine yourself like a walk in the park. How you can see more when you have that awareness. Hey, I want to be aware of what I'm seeing while I'm walking in the park. And then you'll start looking in different directions, and you may be very amazed at what becomes apparent to you. So I want to thank you so much for listening to today's episode, and I'll say goodbye for now until we connect again. Bye!